get into really provocative situations.
Changes the history to be found in the legends of time. All the handiworks remain.
What does Indiana Jones mean to you guys? So when I think of Indiana Jones, a blockbuster series, Indiana Jones, we watched the first one, right? Yep, I know that. I was asking myself that in, The Lost Ark is what the one we watched.
The Lost Ark, and that's where it's like lost the episode. The original
Yes,
one.
and the Lost Ark is where we lost the episode in the archives. But I always think to myself, when you start with an eclectic series of Indiana Jones, which is technically it's not even called Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark, it's just called Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That's true.
I always find instead of starting with the first one, you start with the last one and work your way backwards. So let's see how this amazing series ended with Indiana Jones in the Dial of Destiny. Now,
I'm pretty sure it ended with The Last Crusade, and anything that happened after that was collective hallucination.
And I personally believe that you must end with the last one because that shows you how good the series was. And unfortunately, Indiana Jones in the Dial of Destiny was really bad. So thus, we don't need to watch Lost Ark because it's all bad. All right, that's my podcast.
Wow. No, that's.
But if you wanted to continue talking about it, we could just talk about Raiders of the Lost Ark. I like the part where Indy's in the caves and he gives the gold to the one guy that plays the Doc Ock, and then the Doc Ock just leaves him behind the die and then gets fucking gutted. And then I like the part where Indy jumps on the plane and then there's snakes in the plane. And he's like, I hate snakes.
I'm sick of these motherfucking snakes
on
this motherfucking plane.
Yeah, and then I like the part where the French guy was working with the Nazis.
Yes, this is one thing we talked about. I really think, as far as I can tell, the French guy's just better at his job, and that's why he gets to work for the. If Indiana Jones was better at his job, he would have just got hired by the Nazis because they wanted to pay the money to the best guy.
I think this Indy would have never. Well, Indy thought the guy that went to the looking for the Ark before him, the guy that he was working was like, I guess, a student under or whatever, or worked or was at college with or whatever, was a better archaeologist than him. So I don't know.
He's not a very good archaeologist. He
actively
destroys a lot of these sites.
Which is actually, tactically, it makes him a very good archaeologist because archaeologists are very good at destroying their sites. Especially at that time period and prior. This is something you might not know, but it is true.
But are you supposed to, let's say, catalog the items first?
At that point in time, probably not as much. I think during The Last Crusade, they probably were starting to.
During the film The Last Crusade, or during
The Last Crusade
during
that
the
happened.
Seventh Crusade in 1228 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the difference between Indy and Belloc? Because you're saying Belloc is just he's better at his job.
He's better
and
at
in the
his
film,
job.
Belloc says he's a shadow of Indy, or he's a reflection of him.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like, he has less morals.
Yeah, he's the good, and Indy is the bad. Isn't good at his job, one's bad at their job. Don't forget, though, Temple of Doom comes before Raiders of the Lost Ark, right?
Correct. So that he can have reverse character progression and just be about fortune and glory. And
also, do not forget that in this film, there is a travel scene with a plane going over a map, superimposed of a map of Palestine. I just want to let that out. Speedrunning, this shit's great.
Here we go. Here's my list of... he's maybe not even that great. He knocks an ancient statue into an ancient wall and disturbs an ancient burial site. He refuses to learn any local languages. He needs to set firmer boundaries with his undergraduate students. Is Belloc just the villain because he has better logistical skills and gets more work because of it?
Logistics wins wars. Also wins archaeology, apparently.
Also wins archaeology. He forgot to close it. Dude, all that happens is he forgot to close his eyes when they opened the Ark. That's
that's a novice mistake. You would never think of doing that.
You would never think of doing that.
Because that's not even in the owner's manual of the Lost Ark, so you wouldn't even know that was part of it.
Indiana Jones only lives because Spielberg let him read the script, and he knew what was going to happen.
I don't want to be in your fucking space cowboy movie anymore. Let me be a guy with a bullwhip.
I mean, Indy's not a good guy. We see him execute people without a second thought.
That's true.
He shoots a guy in the head who's driving that.
And he was a child rapist too, right?
Yeah, he was a pedophile.
Oh, okay. I forgot that part.
You don't remember? No, he was talking to the one chick in like Tibet or whatever, and she was like She said, "I was a child," or something.
I was a child. Yeah.
Oh yeah, with Marion, right?
Yeah, do you not remember?
I do remember that now that you say it. I would hope that the "I was a child" part wasn't literal. She meant she was.
It was literal.
20. No,
I
would
took
hope
it
that
literal.
It wasn't literal. That she
No,
was
but it
like,
was.
What?
I tracked down a discussion between Lucas
Is
and
it like
Spielberg.
in the novelization of the film they do? And now here's our detailed scene from the novel Lolita. in which Indy-
I tracked down a story conference transcript between George Lucas and Spielberg, where Lucas raises the idea. He says, they're talking about how the characters need to be in a relationship. And Lucas says, I'd like it if they had a relationship at one point, because then you don't have to build it. George Lucas says, I was thinking that this old guy could have been his mentor. He could have known this little girl when she was just a kid, had an affair with her when she was 11.
What?
Another guy says, and he was 42. George Lucas says, he hasn't seen her in 12 years. Now she's 22. That's a real strange relationship. Spielberg says, she had better be older than 22. George Lucas says, he was 35 and he knew her 10 years ago when she was 25 and she was only 12. It would be amusing to make her slightly young at the time. Spielberg says, and promiscuous. She came on to him. Lucas concludes, 15 is right on the edge. I know it's an outrageous idea, but it's interesting. Once she's 16 or 17, it's not interesting anymore. But if she was 15 and he was 25 and they actually had an affair the last time they met and she was madly in love with him, ...
Well, I mean, at least he negotiated himself up from 11. That's an improvement.
That is fair, and I can back that up because on Wikipedia it does say when she was 15 years old, according to the novelization, although not quite reliable due to differences and inconsistencies. Jones abruptly left Ravenwoods in 1926. Marion was 16 or 17, and then Jones was 27 or 28.
You know, I think if Jar Jar had a girlfriend,
I was a child. I was
only
in love.
12 years old. That would be.
I was wrong, and you knew where. You knew what you were doing, Jones says, calling her, basically saying, you knew what you were wearing. You know, Jones, the fucking rapist.
And can we please put in the script that she was asking for it because of what she was wearing?
She came on to him? Yeah, so India is not a good guy. Belloc is not a good guy. What is it that separates them? They both like trash.
Well, then again, the other guy's French, so he probably was a pedophile as well.
Belloc's better at, like, he gets the thing at the beginning because he learns how to speak whatever South American indigenous language or whatever, and he gets the whole goon squad on his side, and then he always ends up with the stuff. That's why the Nazis hire him. If Indiana Jones is better at the stuff, the Nazis would be like, hey, you want to come work for us? And he'd be like, oh yeah, I guess so. You guys sure pay better than my fucking shitty college in Washington.
For me, I guess it's a thought experiment. You know, when the Nazis have the Ark, they're carrying it off into the desert, and Indy holds up a bazooka threatening to blow it up.
Yeah.
For me, the question is, Belloc knows he won't blow it up because he has too much respect for history. It would be too sacrilegious and destructive. So there are limits to what Indy will do.
But let's be realistic, though, for a second. That bazooka wasn't made yet. It wasn't even invented yet. So it's bullshit.
Oh,
yeah, bullshit.
Well, if you go back to the Dial of Destiny, Indy has the power of time travel, so that's how he got the bazooka.
Oh, maybe he gave the bazooka back to his past self. That's crazy. The Dial of Destiny.
Did you see the Dial of Destiny?
I did, but I can't remember much of it.
Dude, is that why he was able to fuck a 15-year-old girl? Because he went back in time?
Actually, if you're 65, I've been researching this. How old is George Lucas right now? So if you're 82 years old, but if you go back in time to the year where you would have been 12 and you fuck a 12-year-old, then it still counts as you being 12.
Well, think about it this way. What if he prevents his 25-year-old from fucking the 15-year-old by using a time portal, but only the shape of his cock? So when the 25-year-old's fucking her, it's going through just a time portal doing nothing. And then he swaps it out with his 85-year-old penis.
Why is it in the shape of his cock?
It's a circle. It's an oval. So he, like in portals, you know, Portal 2s, but instead of like a big portal you can walk through, it's just enough for your dick.
Just one portal.
But you're saying he's going to replace the 25-year-old dick with the 8-year-old dick?
Yeah, exactly. This way he's not a rapist in the past.
Don't worry, Indiana. I'll save you from being a child rapist by raping her myself.
Well, technically, yeah. I mean, it makes more sense. So he wouldn't have raped her for another 60 years.
Sense, yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. I guess we'll take it as a given that Indy wouldn't have worked with the Nazis.
Because he says Nazis. I hate these guys.
Yeah, because Nazis don't like pedophiles. That's why.
He will fuck a Nazi, though, as we find out in The Last Crusade. And he was kind of down maybe to fuck her again.
I did write down my notes. The only person Indy gives a fair fight to is the white guy. Everybody else, he'll just like pull tricks. He'll shoot them. He'll throw stuff at them. He'll throw sand in their face.
My favorite thing, you know, when he gets the horse. So this is an awesome sequence. It's a tremendous action sequence. The elongated chase. He's chasing the truck convoy. He's on the horse at first, and he jumps onto the truck. Great action sequence. He presumably just steals that horse from some Arab digger, who's like,
what? Say
like,
that. You
that's
said
his whole
Arab
livelihood.
what? Arab what? You said Arab what?
Digger.
Oh,
With the
okay.
D. Thank you.
Sorry, my Discord lagged. All I heard was Igor. I was like, what?
He does the same thing when he's going through the marketplace, and there's like people with their like the trades and the was in baskets on their heads, and he just like starts knocking them over.
Oh yeah, and then he hides in the basket. And what if somebody needed that to take food home to their family that night?
And doesn't he like indoctrinate and groom kids to like steal money from the French people?
Well, but that's morally good. So yeah, they're French people.
Did he do that, or was it his friend?
I think that was Val, right?
Welshman.
Yeah, this is a recurring theme because we also had this in Ben-Hur. Having a Welsh guy do just a little bit of brown face and portray an Arab, but still with a fully Welsh accent. This is the important part.
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to be Welsh, but you guys corrected me last time. He's
the traditional Welsh name, Salah. No, that's
Salah.
the Sean Connery voice. How do you do Welsh? I need to watch more of the Wrexham documentary. You know, it's been a while since the last season, so I need to get the accent.
So does that mean God's real though?
God is canonically real in the Indiana Jones movies. Yeah, he sends the ghosts out of the Ark to blow up Nazis.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what differentiates it from, because especially Raiders, you see a lot of James Bond influence. I would say, like, I had forgotten prior to the last one watch it, the final confrontation and the opening of the Ark and all that doesn't happen in Egypt. It happens on an island. I think it's an island in Greece or Turkey or somewhere in the Mediterranean.
Mhm.
And when he sneaks into the island, it's just like a full Bond villain sublayer. And I completely forgot there was that transition before we rewatched it. So the main difference between this and James Bond is that in James Bond, we're not sure if God is real or not, whereas in Indiana Jones, it definitely is.
Doesn't it just get more absurd with each film? I didn't watch Crusade, but in
I thought you
Temple,
meant the James Bond. Yeah, James Bond gets way more
Temple's
absurd.
probably the most. I mean, your time travel one, and then Crystal Skull has Alamaus.
What about Last Crusade?
Last Crusade, that
Sean
has
Connery's
the
in it, so it's really
ghost,
good.
but
Oh, he's so
aside
cool.
from the
You're
ghost-
right. The Ghost Crusader guy.
The
That's
guy who's
cool.
like,
yeah.
well, I guess he's technically alive and super old. He's been waiting. He's been on guard till someone who's worthy will come. And it has the supernatural. If you pick the wrong chalice, if you don't reflect the philosophy of Jesus, and pick the chalice of grandeur or whatever, you die and turn to dust.
Yeah, but also technically, when you think about it, he's kind of gaming it because he knows
And there's
what to pick.
also, although I guess you could argue that's an optical illusion. I don't know, but there's like the invisible pathway in Last Crusade. All the more supernatural stuff is also towards the end. I think what makes Temple of Doom different is fairly early on in that one we get, all the heart getting ripped out, and you don't have to wait till the end reveal to find out, like, oh, is this just, an artifact architecturally, or does this have some higher power? In Temple of Doom, the whole way, they're just like, once they go behind the scenes, it's like, all right, I guess not only is God real, but the Kali, the Indian goddess of death, is very real.
Which makes his cynicism in Raiders kind of funny. When they're talking about the stories of the Ark, he's like, oh no, that's just myth.
Oh. Yeah, you'd think after what he went, but I mean...
This kind of refers to what Dio is saying, like they switched up his character for the prequel.
Yeah. They made him... I think he's supposed to be more of a worse person in the prequel. Temple of Doom is very interesting to me because when I was a kid, it was my favorite one. And I do think some of the best segments in Temple of Doom, when it's moving quite fast, the action's really great. That crazy elaborate set they built, which is like functionally just a giant fantasy set of all the different parts of this mine and temple complex, is incredible. But a lot of the character stuff doesn't work that well. Like, I really like Indy and Short Round's relationship, but the woman in that one we talked about this last time. It's crazy that Spielberg...
I think she's the best woman, though. Personally, I think she has the most character development for a woman.
She's like she's brutal. All she does is like scream and be like, she punches one guy one point. But aside from that,
but I think she has the best development though for a woman.
The development is just that she agrees to kiss Indy at the end. It's not like she's like, I was actually wrong about Indian culture.
Yeah, whatever. I think short round's like definitely like a racist term, right? It just feels like a fucking racist.
I don't know. Let's check with our Chinese expert short round. But no, Spielberg married that woman, the actress, and that's what's hilarious to me. After he was like getting her to give this performance, it's incredibly aggravating, and he's like, "Yes, this is the woman of my dreams."
Yeah,
and I believe they're still married.
I still think the Indiana Jones is more realistic than James Bond, though.
You know what? Like, this is what's funny about, because you're right, beat for beat, if you compare the run times. But then there's normally that one or two things in the film that's like a incredibly supernatural thing, or that time he goes in the fridge when the nuke falls on him. But I don't think
Yeah, I think there's equal to that shit in James Bond, if not worse, though. The fridge nuke, I really do.
Well, I guess in James Bond, the idea is that it's not magic, it's technology. But it's one of those things where it's like, well, the function of the technology is so obtuse and just fantastical that it's indistinguishable from magic most of the time. But within the world, we're supposed to believe that, okay, no, there are these really smart, the supervillains have these crazy gadgets, and Q can make these crazy things. So this makes sense within the world that the top secret agent would access this stuff. Whereas in Indiana Jones's world, most of it's very hand to hand, just fighting with weapons, vehicle chases, and then suddenly magic. There'll be a little bit of magic. There's some godly power.
A little bit of magic.
I think it's fine. It adds to the fun of the universe.
Yeah, and a lot of it
I literally cannot watch the fucking James Bond shit. So yeah, it's unwatchable.
Okay, so either universe, I think it adds to the fun. But you're saying in the James Bond setting, you don't like it. You don't like it when stuff is hand waved as technology.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard to say because the last two movies of Indiana Jones were just bad. So like maybe if they were done well, the like paranormal stuff would be okay. But I can't really argue it because the movies are just bad. Like they're
right, but they're in all of the films.
You think when Shia LaBeouf is swinging on the branches with the monkeys,
it looks stupid. It just looks stupid.
Good, you'd like it more?
It looks stupid. And then the same thing with James Bond. Maybe it's I don't know. James Bond just looks stupider. I think the last good one was probably Casino Royale, the new one.
You like the new ones where they pivot into more realism?
I like realism with my spy thriller because it makes it seem like realistic, and I can say, oh yeah, this is impressive. Because if they say MacGuffin device, and then I'm like, okay, where am I? Like, oh, is he gonna make it? Is he gonna do it? Like what's carrying me to the next scene? Nothing, because I don't care.
But you like it in India, because you like India overall. Don't you think it adds to the mystique of the universe? Like,
no, I only like the first three because it means James Bond's in it, because Sean Connery, the universe of both of those films.
Okay.
This is not even a bullshit opinion I just gave you. That is my actual opinion. I think Sean Connery is just a great guy, and if he's in anything, it's great. Zardoz, great. The gun is good. The penis is bad. All right, Zardoz.
I think the inclusion of selective fantasy elements has a lot to do with what inspired Lucas and Spielberg, because they're both big fans of the 40s serial adventures. A lot of this pulp, not the Tarantino film Pulp Fiction, the original Pulp Fiction. And in a lot of those stories, they are set in obviously the real world. So nobody's going to Mars. Nobody's going to a fantasy thing, like they're going back to Camelot or whatever. They're in the real world, but they discover this lost city in Africa or South America or India, whatever it is. And that's where the fantastical elements are hiding. But the rest of it's grounded. The characters are coming from what we're supposed to recognize as just a normal world. So they're taking that same energy and doing it with the Indiana Jones movies, where he is aware of these things, but he's skeptical of the power they have. But then they keep having that power. So at a certain point, he should just get over it and accept that magic is possible.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess in other terms, it's like everything is dated before World War II, the outbreak. Well, except for the later films. So that gives it a sense of grounding, because you can have more fantasy elements because it's so far away from our psyche, and you don't have to think about all the 271,000 Jews plus that got killed.
Great. Can't wait for that to make the episode.
No, I think we got the plus in there. The plus has got us covered.
Plus is doing a lot of work. I'm confident saying more than one. It must have been.
No, but it really, but really, like I do think that really anything. There's a certain point where that kind of hurts the fantasy element or paranormal, and that's where you kind of have science fiction make more, which kind of makes sense why the Crystal Skull and the other ones had science fiction.
And
elements.
even if you look at again the kind of like not the source material in the sense it's an adaptation, but the inspiration. So a lot of these like 1930s, 1940s, probably 1950s as well, pulp stories. Well, like especially they're growing up, like they're teenagers in the 50s, something like that. A lot of that stuff isn't set in those years, so it might have come out in 1930, 1940, whatever, but it's set in 1860.
Oh, you know what would have been really cool? They could have had him, instead of fighting the Soviets, he could be fighting like the Nazis in South America and then actually finding Hitler for a second time. That'd be fucking wild. You don't even think so? That'd be pretty
Hitler.
cool.
I hate this guy.
That guy. He ruined my book.
Yeah, I'm surprised they never did that.
That would have been so cathartic, too.
When did Boys from Brazil come out? I just feel like that captured that idea. 78. Maybe felt too done.
Honestly, I just think they're afraid of modern Nazis. I think honestly people are really afraid of making content about. They'll make fun of Nazis, but the new Nazis, everyone's just very afraid. Like it's only now I feel like you have more content about them. Like you had Black Klansman, for instance. You had the one where Rupert wasn't not Rupert Grint, the other guy, the
Rupert Grint.
The Harry Potter guy. He plays as a Nazi in one film.
Radcliffe.
Thank you.
Oh.
So like it's been more normalized to talk about this because like before then you would have like Romper Stomper, which is like an 80s Australian movie about neo-Nazis. It would have been really spread. No one wants to talk about Nazis. They're like, no guys, Nazis are gone.
What's the guy? Isn't the guy in American History X a neo-Nazi?
Yeah, but it's like spaced out by so much. I think it would have been cool for Indiana Jones hunting down neo-Nazis or Nazis in Argentina.
Nah, that's boring. OG Nazis have all the occult stuff.
You could have had no, because those would have been the OG Nazis. Those are going to be Hitler and his people, and they could have ended up in Antarctica. It would have been like a nice ice fucking.
So what you're saying is you wanted as Harrison Ford gets more elderly, you wanted him to also just be fighting increasingly elderly
old people. Yes, and
really
it would have made it, but it would have made it so much like make more sense though, wouldn't it?
Hang on,
retarded.
Can't get my walker up these temple stairs.
Well, but you could have had a scene where they're equal of age, but he's just better kept in shape, and he's like Master Race, huh? Like it would have been funny. It's just funny.
Well, maybe they'll make another one. You can write it: Indiana Jones and the
quest for Hitler's skull.
The quest for Hitler's magic mustache. I was gonna say earlier, one of the big influences, especially on Temple of Doom, is Gunga Din, and that exemplifies pretty well the adventure with like a hint of supernatural while also being set prior to the filming date by a similar distance. So Gunga Din, the film comes out in 1939. It's set in like the 1870s or 1880s when it's still the British Raj in India. And it's kind of a similar distance between, all right, Temple of Doom comes out in 84. It's set around the time that Gunga Din, the movie, came out, and it's a gap of like 35, 40 years.
Whatever that's about, Gunga Din sounds fucking retarded.
It's about it's a similar thing. They end up, it's a different setup entirely. They're British soldiers, British Indian Army sergeants, but they end up fighting a Kali cult. Like this is why, if you watch this film, you'll really see where a ton of the influence for Temple of Doom came from.
Oh, the Libertines wrote a song about Gunga Din. Okay, I'm okay with this again. Oh, The Sopranos has an episode about Gunga Din too. Okay, we're good.
Oh, I forgot.
All right. This is relevant again. You might remember the popular episode of season 1, episode 6 of The Sopranos called Pax Soprana. Livy Soprano states that the woman next door is constantly running water, and he states, "Water, water, water. It's like I'm living next to Gunga Din." Livia. I wrote it. I had my mic in my face. I can't see. Yes. Okay. All right. We're good. We found it out.
We found it. Well, we've talked about Raiders. Great film. We've talked about Temple of Doom. Great film, but flawed. Last Crusade, I also think, is great. It's probably a little sloppier than the other two, but it's really funny.
Aren't all the indie movies on the list, though?
Separately, no. Only Raiders is on the list. And I think Raiders is the correct choice if you're going to pick one to put on the list.
No, I think Crusade's the better one because you have a tank.
The tank is pretty awesome. That tank sequence is maybe the best action sequence of the entire series. That is a great chase. But the real question, you forgot we have a special fourth film.
Prince. Hey,
funny. Prince. Hey, Armor of God. I talked to you guys about that
Armor
movie.
of God, where Jackie Chan becomes Indiana Jones, except not really. Just kind of for like 5 minutes at the beginning, and even then, not really. But it's incredible. If you thought that Temple of Doom had a slightly problematic portrayal of the Indian subcontinent, wait till you think what Jackie Chan. Wait till you see what Jackie Chan thinks of Africa. It's incredible. Armor of God is not that good.
I liked it. It's a great movie. If you watched all 3 of them, though, that's the really good one.
No. Alan Tam is super annoying as the sidekick. All the fighting's good. All the shit that's not action sequences sucks. It's not funny.
I think it's pretty good.
Like his good movies. It's shitty in between the action, and the action's still great. The one thing I appreciate about Armor of God is that at the end they just forget about the Armor of God. Jackie Chan just blows everything up with dynamite and then leaves.
Yeah, I mean that's the way it should have been done.
Zero attempt to recover the artifact. That's been the motivation for the whole film. But then you're like, oh, who cares? Because he's skydiving on top of a hot air balloon. So this is cool. Never mind. I don't care that he blew up the Armor of God.
I think it's good. I think Jackie Chan knows how to make it interesting. He's like, people aren't really in here for the plot, and they know, like, realistically, if I had to do all this bullshit, I'd probably just blow the shit up and leave.
Probably just blow it up and leave.
Yeah, I mean that's why Jackie Chan would survive a horror movie.
And you guys told me in Armor of God 2 and 3, it doesn't bear any resemblance to the first film.
No, it's different. It's different.
Yeah. I didn't watch them, but I remember reading about them before I did the last one, and now I don't remember shit. Like, does he even play the same guy?
I think 2 is better than 1, if I remember correctly.
I believe that.
Yeah,
Operation Condor
Asian
is a great
Hawk.
name. Yeah, of course, he's Asian Hawk. Oh yeah, and he's fighting Nazis. Yeah, that's right.
No,
That's
he
good.
hates those guys.
He hates those guys. Jackie Chan. Too bad he's old. He won't do. We should after we get like stem cells and make Alonzo live forever. We got to do that the same thing for Jack. I think.
Yeah, that's important. I think that's.
And then I guess we'll just do make Morrissey older because that's gonna make him happier. We have to make his age even faster, make him more miserable.
He'll be good. I'm closer to death.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be...
Finally, I'm closer to death. I've always wanted to be sadder.
Yep. All right. Well, that was cool. Great episode, guys.
Wow, what a fantastic, unlistenable.
We got 10 minutes there. We're good.
I'm glad that we talked about the movie for at least 30 seconds. That was important.
I went through all the beats, dude. Indiana Jones is a pedophile. Done.
That's the main thing, yeah.
What else do you want to talk about?
Oh, you know the one Specky Nazi? That's kind
yeah.
of iconic. He's I forgot before I rewatched this that he's like the tertiary antagonist, because Belloc is the real antagonist. Then you have the boring Nazis, whatever officer or whatever. But then you have this Specky guy who gets the thing burned into his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
He's taken out the elaborate torture device and turns it to be a coat hanger.
Oh yeah,
that's very funny. And
that's
then,
the worst.
Most importantly, the way his face melts at the end is the most iconic image.
Oh, it is so iconic that I actually have a short of it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's visceral stuff.
Computer. Yeah, it's really good.
Practical effects.
It's a good short.
Oh, it's quite disjointed, but I do want to re-reference the fact that I think the kissing bit was
Who was kissing?
Was Lucas or Spielberg's incel tendencies on display.
Who was kissing who?
Remember, Indy's all like busted up. He's like bandaged and shit on the boat.
Like,
yeah, it hurts here. And she's like, "Kisses him."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Where else does it hurt?"
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Where else does it?
It's a bit of a momentum killer, that scene, but they gotta find a time to prove they're not gay before the end.
I have a case of not
movie.
gays. That makes sense.
Also, the U-boat never dives; just kind of sails because Indy's like chilling at the top.
It doesn't
bit.
need to. That's the thing.
No, but it does dive. He's just hanging out.
He just breathes underwater or something. Survives the pressure.
Yeah, he just holds on underwater.
Makes sense to me, dude.
He just holds his breath a really long time. No, they just kind of skip ahead. It's one of those things like, you can't be fucked to explain this if you has to fight his way into the top little compartment or whatever. Because he comes out of the compartment though when they pump to the sub base, right? Or is he already on the docks? This is the problem with not watching this for 6 months before trying to record this. But
I don't remember. I can't picture him at all scrambling off the U-boat.
Dude, I just ignore it. I literally just ignore it because you're right. He's no way he could possibly get into the sub without letting water in, and they would know. So they just kind of they just let him in. That's it.
Okay, for my sanity and not for the podcast, I'll figure out what he does.
You do so much for us by looking into the U-boat controversy of 1981.
Yeah, they cut to the map thing again.
Well, because when you're in the map, you can't be attacked. You can't be aggroed when you're in a map mode. Everyone knows that.
Yeah. Indy's already at the docks as the U-boat is pulling in.
There you go.
So he just swam along the
Probably
whole
got
time.
his like giant ass dick and attached it to it and just swam.
Nice. I'm gonna use the time travel. First, I'll substitute my dick when he's raping the child, but then afterwards, I can also substitute my dick to help him cling to the submarine because I think it'll be easier to do with my elderly dick. There's more wrinkles.
I mean,
to
technically
cause
uses
friction.
balls because those like stretch forever when you get older.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, well, no, that's seriously happening. Your balls just drop further and further. You don't know that?
Yeah, but at what point do they stretch forever?
Well, I guess when time goes on for forever, and when you have the dial of destiny, you can just dial up your ball sack, exposure to time. Like, come on, dude.
All right, we gotta have a quote here somewhere, surely. There's a big snake in the plane, Jock! Oh, that's just my pet snake, Reggie. I hate snakes, Jock. I hate them. Come on, show a little backbone, will ya? Goodbye.
Get into really provocative situations.
Changes the history to be found in the legends of time.